Hey guys, welcome back to Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. I will be recording more of this as evident. But yeah, without further ado, Lucy. Lucy. Lucy Valentine. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Lucy Valentine? I can't remember the voice I gave him, I'm sorry. It's been a couple weeks. Oh wow. Alright.
Lucy.
Yes, Lucy Valentine. That is your name.
Lucy. Lucy. Valentine. あなたは
Do you recognize who I am? Lucy slowly shakes her head. Is that so? I continue. I'm Dr. Ryu, and this is the K Robotics Research Lab.
一ノ瀬博士
Yes, Dr. Ryu. I am your creator.
私を作った人
Yes. Sorry, I skipped that bit there.
私を作った人一ノ瀬博士一ノ瀬博士
Yes, Ryu. That is my name. It's funny to be saying all this now, but yes, Ryu. That's my name. It's a bit of a lame introduction, or late introduction, lame, but be sure to cherish it and remember it.
覚えておきます一ノ瀬博士
October 14th. You.
スター
My body is being shaken from side to side.
スター
Something is shaking my body. Ugh.
マスター起きてください
What do you want? Still feeling drowsy, I try my hardest to overcome the weight of my drooping eyelids. I finally managed to force open my eyes. And right before me was a pair of blue eyes the size of frying pans. Ah! I stare at Lucy in bewilderment as I find myself falling off my bed.
もう朝ですよく眠れましたか
Before I make any attempt to talk back to her, I decide to check the time. It was earlier than usual. I let out a big yawn. It's so early in the morning. Before I could ask why I was woken up so ahead of schedule, I started to sniff. I could smell something delicious. My room was filled. My room was filled with the mouth-watering scent. I tell myself that the neighbors must be cooking up something good. And Lucy suddenly opens her mouth.
朝食のご用意ができました。
Those words were the most unexpected. Did you just say breakfast?
冷蔵庫にある材料で簡単に作らせていただきました。お口に合うかはわかりませんが。
Breakfast. The word had a nostalgic ring to it. When was the last time I'd eaten something other than fast food for breakfast?
あ、何か嫌いな食べ物はございますか？
No.
嫌いな食材はございますか？
No. Nothing like that. I wanted to say carrots and cucumbers, but I decided against it. I didn't want to be seen as an immature kid complaining about his food. Just doesn't fit my cool intellectual image. Still haven't fully woken up yet. I can confirm my understanding with Lucy once more. Or I confirm. So you're telling me you've made breakfast?
はい。ルーシーが実力を発揮しました。
Okay, hopefully it's good.
これから10分後にできますので、これを飲んで少しお待ちくださいね。
A cup of water is presented to me. I was just starting to get a little thirsty, too. As I grab hold of the cup, its pleasant coolness spreads along my skin. I feel embarrassed about following Lucy's orders, so I decide to make a small complaint as I put the cup to my lips. Next time you should wake me up when the food's actually ready.
ダメです。起きてすぐに食事すると胃と腸に負担がかかります。一杯の水で腸の活動をさせた後に食事を取らないといけません。
I didn't know that. How annoying. What a strict one this robot is. I enjoy the feeling of the cold water pouring down my throat and quenching my thirst. It feels like my insides are being cleansed thoroughly. Suddenly, I realize how absurd this whole situation is. The fact that someone is preparing breakfast for me. Could I still be dreaming? I feel like I'm on cloud 9. Lucy cheerfully skips towards the kitchen. I only continue to stare at her blankly. 10 minutes have passed. Only now I feel more awake. It's a pain how my body is really slow to start itself up. I begin to feel hungry. The smell of Lucy's cooking motivates me to drag myself out of bed. I head straight towards the kitchen table. I'm stunned by the veritable feast laid out before me. A cloud of white steam is rising from the bowl of rice. The soup is boiling with intensity. The sound it's making is music to my ears. And there's a perfectly prepared fish, along with a variety of side dishes. It'd be shameful to compare this to a lunchbox from a convenience store. Appearing to have sensed my delight, Lucy smiles pleasantly. Her voice is full of tease.
えへん。
I feel a sense of defeat. I begin to feel frustrated for no particular reason. I want to say something in reply, but I decide to hold back. I take a seat in silence and lift my spoon.
美味しいですか？
I haven't even taken a bite yet. What's the rush? Just hold on a second.
さあさあ、冷める前に召し上がってくださいね。
She takes a seat at the opposite end of the table. While striking a sly pose, With a hand on her chin, she urges me to eat. It was as if the food was suddenly going to disappear if I didn't start soon. She's gazing at me intently. She's trying not to make it obvious, but I can tell that she's very eager to see my reaction. Whatever I say next will decide what her face will show. I take a spoonful of the glossy white rice and put it in my mouth. It's good. Perfect flavor and texture. While I'm at it, let's try some side dishes too. Marvelous. She really wasn't lying about her cooking skills. Let's be fair though. She probably knows only the best recipes from around the world. And since she's a robot, there wouldn't be any inconsistencies in her cooking. They had programmed her to be a top-level chef, and this was to be expected. Or this is was. For them, that... Nah, my brain can't read properly in the morning. Did I mention it's like 7:30 in the morning? This... Motherfucker. There's a then before the this. Why can't I see that? Then this was to be expected. There, I got it. See? I'm good at reading. There's nothing to be surprised about. But a robot's just a robot. She wouldn't be able to top something that's mommy used to make, as they say. Although, personally, I've never had an opportunity to taste Mobo's cooking, so I can't compare. Looking back at Lucy, who was still staring at me with great anticipation, I think about what I should say. I can feel an aura of confidence around her, yet she appears to be worried at the same time. She's expecting me to say something. I finally make my reply. Oh, I get to choose. It's horrible. No. Well, it tastes alright, I guess.
よかったです。
Even with my meek response, she still lets out a big sigh of relief.
お口に合うか心配だったんです。
I wish I had an android to cook me. God, now I'm hungry. I'm never hungry for breakfast.
好みに関する情報が足りなくて。
You don't need to concern yourself with that. I've been eating fast food all my life. I'll eat anything, even if you make me some porridge from pig intestines.
ルーシーの料理は動物の餌と同じということですか？料理すらちゃんとできないルーシーをどうかお許しください。本当にルーシーはアンドロイド失格ですね。
She actually looks pretty depressed about this. She looks as if she's about to run off while leaving behind a trail of tears. Am I supposed to chase after her while holding a piece of bread in my mouth or something? No, that's not what I meant. I'm saying that it tastes better than what I'd expected. So you don't need to beat yourself up over it.
本当ですか？
Yeah.
本当に信じてもいいのでしょうか？
It doesn't take long for Lucy to cheer up and start humming away happily. It's nice that she's easy to deal with. I continue to eat in silence while checking up on her every few spoonfuls. I might have to stop this soon and go eat breakfast. Damn. I can't tell how much time has passed. The bowl of rice I'd been eating from has started to show its bottom. I steal a glance at the clock. It's not yet time to leave for school. While reveling in my satisfaction, I decide to sit back in my chair to chill out for a bit. Some time passes. While cleaning up the empty dishes, Lucy asks me a question. Her tone was quite delicate, as if to soothe the small animal.
失礼ですが、マスター。昨日から気になっていたことが一つあるんです。
What is it?
あの、
Sheen asked about my mother. She seemed to be hesitating, so I gave her a little push. Go ahead.
ロボットが嫌いなのは、もしかして
Okay.
お父様の影響ですか？
Question catches me off guard. All the unpleasant memories involving my father come flying back. I slowly realized that my chopsticks were frozen in midair. Without missing a beat, I continued delivering the food to my mouth. In an attempt to hide my surprise, I purposely give a curt answer. Well, I guess you could say that. Nothing will change from denying it. I put down the chopsticks and lock eyes with Lucy. The robot's just laid to waste the values and beliefs I've held for the past 18 years. Keeping my eyes on the robot, I muse. Now that I think about it, I was probably brainwashed.
洗脳と言いますと？
I've heard nothing but awful things about robots since I was little. Robots are bad. Robots make us ill. Robots harm society. I grew up listening to that all the time, so it sort of just rubbed off on me. Previous generation of IT. Now the new generation of robots. As long as we live sandwiched between two generations, there's bound to be people advocating against new technology such as robots. There are plenty of people out there who are strongly opposed to production of robots. My father is a prime example. Similar to what happened during the Industrial Revolution, the effects of this profound new technology is gradually expanding across the globe. Robots are slowly taking away people's job opportunities. It costs less to maintain robots than to pay employee salaries. Robots never complain, and they're consistent in their performance, unlike people. They don't feel any stress or pain, and they never mess around. It'd be much easier to deal with a robot than to fuss over a troublesome worker. We're only beginning to find out what kind of changes robots will bring to our society. Unemployment is getting out of control. All the newly formed jobs are being handled by robots. This is why many people shun robots. No one understands whether this is a temporary phenomenon arising from the drastic change in our lifestyles, or if it's a type of psychological disease. It'll only become clear as time goes on. One thing I can say for sure is that there's always been a divide amongst the population, as made evident by the Luddism movement in the early 1800s. Some are more willing to accept this new technology, while some are not. To me, a world run by robots doesn't seem too promising. Whew. Man, I'm hungry now, damn it. It was too late by the time I'd finally grown old enough to be able to think for myself. It's not as simple as just changing my perspective, because maybe I still would have turned out like this even without my father's influence. My hatred for robots has simply become part of my life now. The most horrifying part of brainwashing is that you can never fight against it. It's technically impossible to bend someone completely to your will. You can't do anything about people acting loyal on the outside, but despising you on the inside. Brainwashing is different, however, because the person wouldn't have the knowledge to think for himself in the first place. And it's possible to take advantage of that, bit by bit. As long as the victim never comes to realize this, he'll never be able to retaliate. There also needs to be a compelling reason for him to change. Even with a good reason, it's likely he won't be willing to accept it, because if he did, he'd be going against all the beliefs he'd held for his entire life. It would crumble the foundation of his very existence. The older a person becomes, the harder it gets for him to admit that he has been in the wrong. Who knows? Maybe I would have never come to hate robots. It's too late for me to start thinking about that now, though.